Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking to Yathaarth. Hello Yathaarth, would you like to tell us something about yourself?
Hi Arnay, I'm pleased to be here. So a little bit about myself. I am an anthemologist, which is basically a person who studies the anthems and sings the anthems of different countries.
Wow.
I'm a two-time Limca Record Holder for singing the most number of national anthems. I'm a four-time TEDx speaker, and currently I'm a budding environmentalist and social entrepreneur.
Wow, that's a lot of things. So it's going to be very interesting to talk to you.
Dosa. Roti. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Chai. Dosa. Roti. Chai. Dosa. Roti. Chai. Dosa. Chai. Dosa. Roti. Chai. Dosa. Dosa. Chai.
Okay, so now Yathaarth, I would like to ask you some questions. First, I would like you to tell us about yourself.
Right. Currently, my name is Yathaarth, and if you can't pronounce my name, you can always call me Yati. I'm 15 years old. I'm studying in Vidyashilp Academy at Bangalore in the 10th grade. And my hobbies are really cycling, playing basketball, and listening to music. And like I said, I'm a four-time Limca Record Holder, and I call myself an anthemologist.
Okay, wow. You are an entomologist. I have never heard any other entomologist in the world. So can you tell me how did this idea start? And at what age? Like what age did you start this? And what was the first anthem you ever sang? What was the first anthem you ever learned?
Well, the idea of learning national anthems and really like the first anthem I learned was India, but the idea of learning national anthems came back goes all the way back to 2014. This was when my Hindustani classical music teacher he taught me the four national anthems on the keyboard, which was India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Japan.
Okay.
And I took a liking towards the national learning anthems on the keyboard. So I requested him to teach me more anthems on the keyboard. But unfortunately, since he didn't know any other anthems, I decided to look up to YouTube and Wikipedia as my new teachers for anthems.
Wow. That's amazing. You started your journey from keyboard and now you're singing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess everybody in India just learns the national anthem first, doesn't it? That right? Okay, so I just want to ask you. You used to do it on the keyboard. So what encouraged it? What encouraged you to take it to the next level and start singing? And what motivated you to continue that? What motivated you to continue singing and learning so many anthems?
I mean, that is a good question because to be honest, you see, it started off as a hobby for me. I
Right.
never really consider it as a passion initially. I always used to ask my mom to print out the lyrics of the anthems. And early on, even my mom never really knew about my hobby for singing national anthems. But sooner or later, it did turn into a passion. I told my parents that I can sing 12 national anthems at that point of time, and they were taken aback and they were impressed as well. So as time went by, I nurtured that a little hobby into a passion, and my dad, like, he had friends in high places, so
Right.
he knew consulates in different countries, and my this was when I was given a chance to sing the national anthem of Israel for Her Excellency Dana Kush, and that was really where everything catapulted. That was my first public national anthem performance as well.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. I feel like parents are a major force that encourage young children like you and me to go forward and continue what they love the most.
Definitely, for sure.
Uh, okay, so I just want to ask you, you're a two times Limca book record holder. How does it feel to have a Limca book record at such a young age?
I mean, to be honest, it feels amazing. It's an amazing feeling, when you set a record for yourself. But the backstory behind it is that when I started Anthems, or when I really, as I took it forward as a passion, I never really aimed at, achieving a Limca record or a Guinness record for that matter, which I soon hopes comes true.
Right?
But yeah, it definitely feels good to, have two Limca records. I mean, let alone one. I was really excited, to get my first record. But the better thing was I was able to beat my own record and get another Limca record as well.
Wow, that's amazing. And I just find it like amazing because like I am sitting with a Limca book record holder, and I just in my eyes it's like wow.
Thanks, Arnay. That means a lot.
Thank you. So, but like the national anthems you learn, they're all in different languages. So how do you manage to learn them? How do you manage to sing them? Because do you have to learn the languages before you sing the anthem, or do you just like how do you do it?
Well, I don't really learn the language like whichever the anthem is, sung in. To me, it was definitely a challenge, to sing the anthems in different languages because it's in really diverse, and the
Right.
number of languages are really a huge amount. So honestly, I didn't really learn the language and then learn the national anthem. It
Okay.
came naturally where as I sang the anthem. I gradually understood the lyrics of the anthem. I managed to somehow blend with the accent as well.
Okay.
But if you're gonna ask if about the languages, I did take an interest towards Russian
Okay.
after I learned the Russian national anthem because Russian really sound like a cool language to learn.
True. Wow. So I mean, singing national anthem from different countries. If you do that, you will kind of get interested towards other languages. So how many languages do you know? Just asking.
Um, Off the top of my head, I would count five. English, Telugu, Kannada. French is my second language, and I'm slightly fluent in Russian.
Oh
I
my!
don't really know.
I only have three languages: Hindi, English, French, and nothing else. You should teach me Russian sometimes.
Definitely. I mean, for learning all these languages, I do use Duolingo, so that's a good thing, good app.
Wow. So, what challenges did you face during your journey of learning and singing anthems? And I mean, you must have faced some challenges while aiming for the Limca book records, right? So, what can you tell us? Can you tell me more about that?
Well, for one, during my journey, I did face a lot of challenges, setbacks, roadblocks as well, because I mean, for starters, initially when I started anthems, I couldn't really understand anything. I couldn't learn the lyrics of the anthems well because I was just starting off anthems off YouTube and Wikipedia. So that was the first challenge I would say ever in my journey of learning national anthems. But during the course of like from 1 to 260 countries national anthems,
Wow.
I had challenges where probably would be where I started at times at events, and I would hate myself for that, but I always overcame it.
Okay.
But I guess a turning point would be when I decided to take it to the next step. This would be when I found out there was another Canadian girl who could sing 80 anthems at that point of time. I don't really remember how many anthems I knew, but she knew 80 anthems and she went to those countries and sang those anthems. And
Okay.
she had a Guinness World Record for that as well. So, I decided that I should probably be taking anthems more seriously, and that it was my passion to learn, and I just wanted to keep on doing it. So, I would say after that point of time, I went on a roll at times, like probably 2, 3 anthems a day. And I'm a funny story if I would say, I told my mom that I would learn 100 anthems before June, and I think it was the last day of June, probably 2017, 2018. And I told my mom I'm sick and I don't want to go to school. And she knew the reason behind it because I was just finding an excuse to finish learning all those 100 national anthems.
Okay.
So that day, I remember it really clearly in my head. I finished 8 anthems, and 100 anthems was done for me then.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing. Wow. And your mom supported you.
Definitely, my mom was always supporting me throughout my journey. My dad as well.
Yeah. Your teacher must be thinking you're lazing off, but instead you're learning anthems.
Yeah, it was a pretty funny day for sure.
Yeah. So what are there's so many different languages, there's so many difficult words according to me. So what are the most difficult anthems that you sang? Some of them must be like impossible or difficult to memorize, and some must be very hard to sing, like to make the notes. So can you tell me more about that?
Well, I would say the first national anthem that I came across that would be how it was China. I couldn't really, sing it as at the pace that they were singing it, and I couldn't really, what do we say, go at the same tune as well. I mean, I was off tune at a lot of places. But I mean, sooner or later I did overcome it. But honestly, another tough anthem that I did face was the South African national anthem.
Okay.
So an interesting fact about the anthem is that it has 5 different languages in it. And
Okay.
I mean, one and one anthem has one language. So imagine the South African national anthem, 5 paragraphs, 5 languages.
Wow.
I mean, I wouldn't say I had a problem, at the pace the anthem was being sung at, or the tune for that matter. It was just really trouble with the words. But that turns out to be my second favorite anthem,
Wow. So what's your first favorite?
India.
Okay, yeah, I should have guessed that. Okay. So what's your motivation to keep on going, to keep on learning anthems?
Well, I would say, I mean, this was back when taking a step back. This was when I was learning anthems. The motivation for me at that point of time for learning more anthems was always remembering why I started. I would always, when I would mess up an anthem or not sing it properly, when I'm just singing it to myself, I would always think to myself why I'm getting this wrong, or whether I should just keep going with anthems and focus on studies. But
Right.
then I remember why I always started. I started because it's my passion. It started off as a hobby, but now it's my passion. And
Right.
I knew that I'm not going to stop until I reach my goal of singing 260 countries' national anthems.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow. So I just want to ask you, how many countries are there in the world? So do you plan to learn the national anthem of every single country in the world?
Well, there are a lot of countries in the world, but the national anthems of countries, like different national anthems, there are 260. So I don't know the exact number of countries that are there in the world, but a lot of countries share the anthems with the other countries. So I would say I can sing 260 countries' anthems, national anthems.
Okay.
So to give an example of country that shares the anthem, it's Greece and Cyprus. So Greece has its own anthem,
Right.
and Cyprus just shares the same anthem as well.
Okay. So okay. Wow, that's amazing. So do you have like a mentor or a singing guru who helps you with singing and learning the national anthems?
I mean, well, initially, when I first started off anthems, it was my Hindustani classical music teacher.
Yeah.
And ever since I went past those 4 anthems and went on to YouTube and Wikipedia, there wasn't really, someone who could teach me these anthems. I guess technology, I would say, if that would be an answer, technology was the one helping me with all my anthems. But over the course of time, it became my parents. My mom was the ideal mentor for me because she would be always, she'd always have my back whenever I, couldn't sing an anthem well or got lyrics right or started at the event perhaps. But it's definitely my mom. But she didn't really have the thing of singing anthems. She does know a few anthems because I used to constantly sing it at home.
Okay.
But it's always, been there for me.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. So I just want to say, who's your role model then? Who is your motivation? Which person?
Well, my role model, sorry, would be Rabindranath Tagore.
Okay.
And I would say the people who motivate me to do more are my parents, my family, and I mean, for me, my dream is to be the ambassador of India at the United Nations. So, Mr. Saidak Barudan, who was the ambassador of India at the United Nations, he's the one who's motivating me as well to achieve my goal.
Wow, that's amazing. So I just want to ask you, how do you manage it with your school studies? Do you just take every single day off to remember the anthems?
Well, it's it's not of that sort, but I would say probably it was pretty tough initially when I was learning anthems. I mean, this is because my schedule at that time was like a little off balance, but moreover, the important thing at that point of time was to be able to balance my talent and
Right.
studies, academics. So for me, just to just give you a general idea of what my schedule would look like throughout the weekdays. I would get up in the morning, probably at 6 o'clock, because 7 o'clock my bus would come. This was back when COVID-19 wasn't there. So 7 o'clock my bus would come. So within that 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock time, I'd have my breakfast, and brush my teeth, do all the necessary stuff, and whatever little time I had, 10, 15 minutes, I'd probably devote that time towards learning national anthems, if there was any time. Then, I'd be at school from 8:30 to 4:30 in the afternoon.
Right.
I come back, and I mean, at this point of time, I didn't really have exams to worry about or homework because I was still in the fifth grade, and there is a lot of free time for me. So that is when I did learn national anthems. So after I came back from school at 4:30, I usually have my little lunch from 5:30 to 6:30. I mean, 4:45 to 5:30, and then it's always going to be anthems. That's when I would learn my anthems, or if required, I'd go cycling to take a little break as
Wow, that's amazing. That's full on anthem learning like a hardcore.
well. Definitely, yeah.
Wow. So I just want to ask you, what is can you give our viewers a message?
The one message I would give everyone here is that if you have your own little, if you have your dream set at, being a pilot or being whatever your dream is, please just make sure that you have to just strive towards that dream, because nothing comes easy, and there's always going to be roadblocks along the way, to our dream, to our final goal. And I mean, even I've seen a lot of roadblocks as well, and I'm not even halfway through my, goal of being an ambassador of India to the United Nations. So no matter what setbacks come your way, no matter what roadblocks, just keep striving, because all those are just temporary.
Wow, amazing. So everyone who's listening, make sure to follow his words and make sure to follow your dream. One thing that I just want to ask you before we go is, can you just sing like a national, your favorite, like, of course your favorite national anthem is India. Can you sing like your most foreign favorite national anthem for our viewers?
Definitely. So my most favorite national anthem, sorry, it is South Africa. I mean, it's because it has languages, and it's also incredibly melodious. I'll just sing a couple of lines, so it's not really necessary to stand up. Kosi sikeleli Afrika, manupadani suponolwayo, izwa imitanda zoyetu, kosi nasikelela, tina lusafolwayo.
Wow, that is amazing. I did not understand a single word, but that was very melodious.
Thanks, Arnay.
Yeah, I didn't even know that South Africa had an anthem. Yeah. Okay, so it has been very interesting to talk to you.
Thanks, Arnay. Likewise.
So I really enjoyed, and hopefully have you learned all the anthems in the world by now?
Oh, yes. I'm still waiting for a country to pop up, but yes, 260 countries anthems.
That is incredible. It has been really interesting to talk to you, Yathaarth.
Thank you, Arnay, likewise. And please do like, subscribe, share, and comment to the Talk Bar on YouTube.
Okay, everybody watching, make sure to do that. Okay, thank you. Bye. Until next time. It was amazing. What? Wow, that was amazing.